Hey guys, and welcome to or back to the Paws in Pursuit podcast with your host Summer Clark. So before we kick off today's episode, which is probably going to really excite half of you and really irritate probably the other half and probably actually more than half of you, because it is to do with Christmas and it is only the 17th of November. But before I get into any of that, I would just like to say that the Paws in Pursuit podcast, which you all probably saw on my Instagram story on Monday anyway, turned 1 year old on Monday, the 13th of November, which means this is our 53rd episode. So the podcast episode with Kamal that just came out, it's Friday today, so 2 days ago, the 52nd episode came out. So that's every single Wednesday for a whole year. And I don't know how I haven't missed a week, even through going away like Casey and Dogs in Need. I scheduled episodes in advance. So I'm very proud of myself, to be honest. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who listens, especially those who've listened all year round from the very beginning. I'd like to think I've got better at it as the year's gone on. My first episode, I think it's a bit of an introduction to me, is horrendous. The trailer's horrendous. Like I'm just stiff like this, talking like this. It's horrible. But anyway, so I like to think I've improved. But it's crazy that this has been going on for a year and we've done every single week. It really hasn't seemed like that much of a chore. Honestly, I've really enjoyed it. It hasn't been too much of a struggle getting episodes out, really. I've talked to loads of amazing guests that I probably may not have spoken to otherwise, really. And I've learnt a lot myself. So yeah, it's been a great year, and here's to another year and many more years to come of the Paws in Pursuit podcast. We will see where life takes us. Helps that I only work part-time at the moment, having time to get an episode out every week, but we will see, fingers crossed. So that is the main thing of the weekly recap. The only other thing in the weekly recap would be Inspire. I was judging on Saturday. I had a really good day. All my courses ran really well. Had some really good dogs run them. Well, that sounds really harsh. That's like I'm saying some dogs weren't good. All the dogs were great. But yeah, had some, when you're judging and you have those specific runs that are like perfect and you're like, oh, I'm glad I witnessed that. That's what I meant. Not being mean. So that was Saturday, and then on Sunday I competed with Arrow, and he picked up he was wild that day. It was really weird. Well, not weird, but like unusually wild for some reason. I think it's the venue being indoors on the sand. But he picked up a nice little 25 seconds he got round, jumping win, as he does, bless him. And yeah, he loved that run. There was like a really long bit round the outside to the finish, and I'm surprised I kept up with him, to be fair. He was motoring. But anyway, that is pretty much all that's happened out of the ordinary for the weekly recap. Oh, I've got something else exciting that's happened in the past couple of days. Two exciting things, actually, but I'm not going to share them yet. One will have to wait at least a month, and the other one will probably be in the next few days. So by the time this episode's out, you've probably already heard of one of the things. But yeah, super exciting things going on. Anyway, next week I will obviously remind you of this one thing that you've probably already seen. But yeah, super exciting things going on, so stay tuned for all of that. And without further ado, let's get into this really irritating episode. But before I begin, this podcast episode is Christmas related. And before anyone says anything, I know full well that I have Halloween decorations up here in the background. Why? Because I haven't bought my Christmas decorations yet. And I don't want no decorations. I feel like once you put your Halloween decorations up, you can't have a period of time with no decorations. Like, it's a decorational time of the year, okay? I want to go straight from my Halloween to my Christmas decorations. I don't want any bare parts, okay? So they're staying up for now. Don't judge me. And I know my jumper just clashes really bad with the orange. I know, I'm fully aware. But anyway, there's a disclaimer. But today's episode is going to be the ultimate Christmas wish list for agility handlers and their dogs. Now, I was originally only going to do handlers, thinking about what I would like, but then I thought, you know what? We're all agility people, so we're all going to buy our dogs things, aren't we, for Christmas? Like, who doesn't buy their dog a Christmas present? Who doesn't wrap their dog's Christmas presents up in paper and let them unwrap it? If you don't do that, you don't have a soul, you don't have a heart. We cannot be friends. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I love wrapping Arrow and Ethel's presents up and watching them open them. It is literally so funny watching them like really gently like pick at the tissue paper with their front teeth. It's the weirdest thing ever. If you've seen your dog unwrap presents, they do it really strangely, don't they? But anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. So we're going to start with agility handlers. So if you're an agility handler and you have no idea what you'd like for Christmas, because we all have everything we want these days, don't we? Joking. But am I joking? No, probably not. Even I struggle to think of some things that I'd like because I usually just buy the things myself. Oh, we love being a working adult, don't we? But yeah, so if you're an agility handler and you're not sure what to ask for, you know, if your mum or partner's been like, what do you want for Christmas? Here's some ideas. And then also, if you are the mum or the partner or a friend of an agility handler, then you know you're going to know what to get them, aren't you, if you listen to today's episode. And then we're going to go into what to get your agility dogs, or just dogs in general to be fair, but specifically agility dogs, afterwards. Now, I would just like to take a minute to introduce you guys to the podcast sponsor, Huel. So here I have one of the ready to drink Huel meals, the berry flavour. Huel ready to drink is a meal in a bottle with over 20 grams of protein. It really is the perfect meal for when you are on the go. You don't need to sacrifice convenience or nutrition, you can have both with ready to drink. Each serving has 26 vitamins and minerals. This means every bottle of ready to drink has 175 health benefits. It is made from natural ingredients such as coconut, sunflower seeds, tapioca, pea protein, flax seeds and hemp seed protein. Every meal is vegan and it has no gluten, no palm oil, no GMO, no lactose and no animal products whatsoever. It comes in 8 delicious flavours including iced coffee caramel and strawberries and cream, as well as the classics like vanilla, chocolate and banana. It is absolutely delicious and just tastes like a milkshake. It is widely sold in supermarkets, petrol stations and corner shops around the UK, and it can be conveniently purchased online. I found out about Huel because I was looking for a product that would give me all the nutrients that I need while travelling to events and staying over at competitions and training events. So when it's time to refuel and have a meal, I can just drink a ready to drink Huel product and get all my nutrients quickly, easily and without cooking. It's perfect when I don't have the time or the facilities to cook. For example, when I'm camping at a competition, I'm going to be drinking at least one a day at KCI and Dogs in Need. If you're super busy just like me, then you really don't want to miss out. You can easily and conveniently shop ready to drink from Huel at the link uk.huel.com/paws. I hugely appreciate anyone and everyone that uses my link as it helps keep this podcast running, and every sale through that link helps keep my podcast going. Buying through my link also gets you a free t-shirt which will be auto applied at the checkout. If you subscribe to a Huel order, you can save 10%. You can choose how often your subscription comes, for example every 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, etc. And these are super easy to manage on the website and you can edit whenever you like. uk.huel.com/paws. So, first and foremost for agility handlers, number 1 is running shoes. This is obvious. I'm due new running shoes. You probably saw it on my story maybe a month ago or more, maybe 6 weeks ago, I don't know, probably a month-ish. I bought some more Asics trainers, some new ones, and I put them on my story because I was really excited. Anyway, got distracted, forgot to try them on. The day after, I tried them on and they were too short, so I had to send them back. And then I tried ordering a different size, still didn't fit very nicely. Tried ordering a different type of Asics, still didn't fit very nicely. Because the ones I've got at the moment, my really old ones that I've had for over a year, they fit my foot perfectly, but that model is discontinued. So I'm kind of buggered. So I want to try the Hoka Challenger 7 GTX. So if anyone has had any experience with Hokas, please let me know. I tried one on in a running store in my town not long ago and it felt really hard, like Solomon's, like the sole and everything felt really hard. It was weird. Felt like I was carrying bricks on the bottom of my feet. But I probably just didn't give it a very good try. You know when you're in a shoe shop and the workers stand there and look at you like that while you're trying it on? And I can't actually think about how it feels in my foot because I'm thinking about the fact that they're just waiting and staring at me and I hate the pressure. And I don't spend long enough like walking up and down in them and stuff because I'm like, they just want me to finish so they can take them back to the warehouse. You know, so that wasn't great, but I need to, I'll probably just order some. I think they're £150. I'll probably just order some, try them on and do that, you know. I mean, it's a whole thing, isn't it? You order it, it's not the right size, you return it, you get your money back, you order more, blah, blah, blah. The cycle continues, but running shoes is a great Christmas gift for agility people. You are meant to change your running shoes every year. I think this is mainly for people who run, like trail run, you know, road run, like going on runs like you do, like 5Ks or whatever. Not agility. However, the general advice is to do that because the sole wears down. My heel hurts now when I go on like 5K runs in my current shoes because the sole is like old. The tread also runs down, so you're more likely to slip over, which is not a good idea for agility at all, especially when we get into the start of next year and next season when we're going to go outdoors again. Grass is going to be slippy and wet and dewy and all the things. So running shoes. I would probably, you know, ask what kind of running shoe your agility person likes if you're buying it for someone else, because they're all different and they're so hard to come by. But yeah, if you are an agility person and you're like, I actually haven't changed my agility shoes in ages, that's something you can get for Christmas. The next thing is activewear. So just activewear in general. I would like the Gymshark GS Power High Rise shorts in red. I would love, it's the only thing I don't have. It's the only colour I don't have. No, it's not. No, it's not the only colour I don't have in shorts. I don't know what I'm on about. It's the colour that I want next in shorts, basically, red. So I would like those. I know it's not shorts weather at all for agility until next season, but I also gym, as we all know. So I'd like those for the gym. I'd also like the running quarter zip. And that's like a pullover long sleeve shirt thing made of sports material. And it was Amelia Bowers, shout out, that had this at a show at Derbyshire, I think. And I was like, oh my God, what is your top? I want it. And it was that. So I want that for Christmas. And that's perfect for doing agility and running in the colder temperatures because it's sports material, so it's breathable, sweat proof, stuff like that. But it's also covering your arms and keeping you nice and warm. And then just thermals in general. I class thermals as activewear. Every agility person needs all the thermal clothing in the winter season. So socks, leggings, long sleeve shirts, all the things. Thermal gloves, thermal hats, thermal, everything you can get thermal is always a great idea. You can never go wrong. Number 3 is a cap and or sunglasses. So even in the winter, especially in the winter when the sun sets early, and it's just in your eyes like constantly, a cap is perfect. And you know me, I always wear a cap, especially for well, mainly just for agility actually, but I'm a huge cap person, and it is so, that sound like I said cap person, not a cat person. Nothing against cats, but we know how that is. Anyway, tangent again, summer. Okay, so caps, I have about, I think I have 17 caps in total. Nike ones, Gymshark ones, all the caps. Unbranded ones even, Peasant Life, I'm joking. But no, caps are perfect when you're doing agility. Oh, that's another thing. At Inspire on Saturday when I was judging, I had several people complain at me quite aggressively about how the sun was in their eyes and a certain part of my course coming through the door. And I wasn't allowed, the door couldn't be shut. That was the entrance and exit to the show. And there's also like slats, if you've ever been to Malton College, in the wall, and it lets sun in. And I'm like, I literally have no control over that. And obviously the sun moves around in the day. But I was thinking, in my head I was like, if you had a cap on like me, then it wouldn't be in your eyes, because when you're looking down at your dog, it's like that, you wouldn't. But anyway, just my opinion, get a cap. Or sunglasses. I mean, you don't really wear sunglasses to run a dog. I don't think most people do that. I would be too scared. I don't even wear glasses to run a dog. I wear contacts. I just feel like, knowing my luck, they'd fall off and ruin my run. But while you're walking courses, walking around shows, when you be in an outdoorsy situation or in a barn thingy, where a barn, an equestrian centre where the sun's shining in through the door, then your sunglasses are going to help with that. Number 4 is fingerless gloves. I don't see barely anyone else in agility wearing fingerless gloves. To be honest, I don't really see them in shops anymore. I bought about 27 pairs a few years ago, and you all see me wearing fingerless gloves at shows, or literally every time it's remotely chilly. And I love them for agility because they let me still use my phone, and aren't we all addicted to our phones? It's a problem. I can keep updating you guys on my social media while I'm at a show, but my hands are warm, it's perfect. I have tried those touchscreen gloves. They're shite, they don't work properly. I mean, some might, but the ones I tried are really inconsistent, and like you type and it only gets like half the keys you pressed. It's horrible. So fingerless gloves, perfect. And you can also handle your dog treats and stuff like that without getting the gloves stinky. And then you don't have to wash the gloves either directly after, because I give arrow fish, so sprats. If that got on the glove, it'd stink for weeks. But it's on my fingers, so I can just wash them. It's great. So fingerless gloves. Number 5, dry robe. I mean, I've already got a dry robe, and it was a present. I probably wouldn't have bought myself one because it's very expensive. But a dry robe is always going to go down well for agility handlers, and it's always cold and it's always wet. We live in England, or not England, okay, the UK, most of us that listen to this podcast. And yeah, every agility person is going to need a dry robe. It goes down so far, so it covers your entire body, and they're so warm and dry, and it's just a great all-in-one thing to wear for agility. Nothing more needs to be said about those. Everyone knows how good they are. Number 6 is a water bottle. So I want the Stanley Cup, and to be fair, I don't really want it for agility. I want it more for, like, obviously I work from home from my laptop, so I want it just there, and I can sit through the straw, which is easier than like doing that. So I could be working and drinking, you know. We really do live a life of luxury, don't we? That's what it's come to. But anyway, I would like that, but I probably will also take it to agility. Obviously, when you're doing a lot of exercise and running around, especially when it starts getting warmer next year, you know, we need to keep hydrated. So yes, a water bottle to take to shows is a perfect idea. I think a lot of agility people get carried away in the show day and forget about drinking. So get your agility person a water bottle, or ask for one yourself. If you've got a nice one, it motivates you to drink more, I've noticed. So do that, definitely do that. Number 7 is agility equipment. Now this might be a bit of a stretch. I know it's expensive, but if that's all you're getting and everyone can chip in, then you could ask for agility equipment, even if it's just a jump. Or, you know, maybe a bigger gift would be a seesaw, like, well, I bought my seesaw, but you know what I mean. So a piece of agility equipment for your garden, or if you have a venue or a field, then for that, whatever you're missing. So that always goes, you know, an agility person's not going to get a jump for Christmas and be upset about it. Let's just say that. There is always room and always a time and a place to use a jump for training at home. So if in doubt, get your agility person agility equipment, or ask for some. If you think, oh, I want to be able to work on this in the garden or at the field or wherever you train, and you don't have equipment, there you go. Agility equipment, whatever you need. Number 8 is now I never know how to say this, please don't sue me. Aggie Notes or Agi Notes? I don't know, but one of those subscriptions. I've heard great things about that. I would love it, but it's just something that I need to prioritise spending money on in other places in my life at the moment. Or a Smarter Agility subscription. So if you're a judge, or you know a judge that you're buying a present for, then a subscription to Smarter Agility or Aggie Notes. I'm really uncomfortable saying that now. Comment, please tell me, someone tell me how to pronounce that, please. And I'll know who actually watches the episode this far, whoever tells me how they pronounce Aggie or Aggie Notes. But anyway, yeah, a subscription to either of those services. Obviously, Aggie Note, I can't do it. Aggie Notes is, I'm going to say Aggie Notes because, agility. Aggie Notes. Aggie Notes, it's probably Aggie Notes. Okay, Aggie Notes. Oh, I just touched my pumpkins. Anyway, Aggie Notes is basically a service, you've probably all heard of it, where you can like journal about all your training sessions and keep a diary and do a training plan and stuff like that. So that's really cool. And then obviously Smarter Agility, I think is a must for all judges to design their courses on. And yeah, I love Smarter Agility. I would be lost without it as a judge. Even if you're not a judge, if you're an aspiring judge one day, or you just want to get a better idea of course design and handling options, Smarter Agility is still really helpful. So number 9 is a gym membership. So I've had quite a few people reach out to me lately in agility saying I'm starting the gym, you know, asking for tips, stuff like that. And I just feel like more people are starting to take their fitness in, you know, as part of the agility partnership more seriously. So if you are an agility handler and you think, yes, I could really work on my fitness, or you know an agility handler that has been mentioning about doing that, I mean, I hope no one would get offended if someone bought them a gym membership, like, what, are you calling me unfit? But a gym membership will go a long way, you know, just pay for a year or whatever, however much you want to ask for or spend or whatever. But yeah, gym memberships can be expensive, but I literally couldn't live without mine. So that'd be a great idea as well. And the final one, number 10, is at-home gym equipment. So stuff like dumbbells, kettlebells, resistance bands, a yoga mat, stuff like that. because you don't need to go to the gym to keep fit and work out. And especially if you have dogs and you want to be at home more and stuff like that, then if you get those for Christmas, those kind of things, then you could just start doing home workouts and get fit that way. So that is also perfect. So that wraps up the handler section of the wish list. So now we're going to move on to the dog section. Oh, and by the way, if you have any other suggestions, then please let me know. Number one for dogs is agility toys. Now this is obvious. I think most agility dogs, probably 99% of agility dogs, get toys for Christmas. So your tugs, balls, clams, those pocket things on a stick, on a tug, what they call like pocket, yeah, the food pocket things anyway. So just think about what your dog likes, what motivates them. If you want to try out a new method of reinforcing your dog or motivating your dog, then you can buy them a new type of toy to try out for Christmas. And they're also going to love opening that. Like, come on, they're going to open it and see a toy and be like, oh. So yeah, I think I'm going to buy Arrow another ball for Christmas, because at Iconics last year, his ball got nicked. It was with my bag outside of the ring. I ran, and then I came out, and where I put it, the bag was there, but the ball was gone. So I feel like a dog just picked it up. But yeah, he had two and now he just has one. So if he lost that one, he'd be done for. So I really need to get him a spare. Second is enrichment toys. So sticking with the toys, but instead of for agility rewarding purposes, this is just in general. So your Kongs, licky mats, and those stuffable snake things. I've literally written down stuffable snake, but I don't know what they're actually called. You know what I mean, where you put food in them. They're really good for stuffing, obviously, Kongs, licky mats and the snakes, and you can freeze them as well, and then they last longer. They're just great for keeping your dog's mental headspace good just during the day, you know, if you work from home. So when I'm sat working on my laptop, I'll give Arrow and Ethel a frozen Kong or a licky mat or something just to occupy their minds, because especially for our agility dogs, a lot of them are working and they have a very high need for exercise, mental stimulation as well. So when they're not having their exercise, then that is a great idea to keep their little brains ticking over. So number 3 is training treats. So this is obvious. So like your semi-moist for the manners minder, I really highly recommend semi-moist for the manners minder. It just fits perfectly in the little gap, in the little dispensary bits. So that's great. And then obviously I can recommend sprats. Arrow absolutely loves sprats, and anything fish really. The fish cubes as well. Obviously from Paleo Ridge we get those. The sprats are from Paws Training at the moment because I've had some vouchers from judging. And Eden semi-moist I get Arrow, just as a few examples. There's no ads here. But yeah, training treats are a great idea. Again, toys, treats, it depends what you use for your dog and what they're motivated by. Obviously new leads, that's obvious. I got Arrow a new lead and collar set. I can't remember exactly who it's by, but it's a material that's like quite shiny, not shiny, but like waterproof. It's not material, if that makes sense. Like it's not fabric, sorry. It's obviously it's material, everything's material. But yeah, it's really cool. I'll check the brand of that, but if anyone wants to know, then DM me and I'll have found out by the time you DM me. But yeah, new leads and collars, absolute must. You know, us agility people love to dress our dogs up in their theme colour. So obviously Arrow's is all green. And harness as well. So Arrow's still got his Herta harness. He's always had that since he was little. Well, I got him a bigger one once he got bigger, but he's always had the same one. I think it's the Weekend Warrior. So a new harness always goes a long way, because as we know, all our agility dogs wear harnesses. We don't like putting leads on collars, generally, do we? Because our dogs will just choke themselves. Arrow would literally die instantly if he did that. He would be like, he'd go to the end and just, that was graphic. Anyway, you know what I mean, get a harness. And then, oh, another thing could possibly be a flexi tag. I didn't actually write that down, but Collars has reminded me. Arrow and Ethel have flexi tags and they're just brilliant. Obviously they don't dangle, so they're not illegal in agility, which is the main thing. But obviously you're still super safe. You've got all your legal details required by law on there. They're waterproof, obviously, so they dry nicely, they clean nicely, and they're flat. So a flexi tag would go a long way. Coats as well. Arrow has an abundance of coats. He has his Pomper underlayer, like the fleece. He has a Pomper raincoat. He has an Equifleece all-in-one with all the legs and things. Oh, he loves that, bless him. I'm joking, he really hates it. He's fine once it's on, but getting it on and off, he looks at me like that, like with his eyes. You know how spaniels give you the eyes. And then he also has everyone's favourite, I think it's Barker and Brown's, the dinosaur coat. He always gets so many compliments at shows from that. And it's really convenient to put on and off. Like the Equifleece can be a pain, getting it up over his legs and on and off like that. But obviously that's best for keeping him dry. But just to chuck on and off at shows, the dinosaur fleece is great. And he looks so cute. The other day I was walking him in, I think I put a story on about how we were all in green unintentionally. And I was walking along in my bright green puffer, and Arrow had his bright green dinosaur coat on with 2 bright green leads, his bright green collar and a bright green harness. They're not all bright green, but you know what I mean. And I was like, why is everyone who walks past kind of looking weird? And some of them were smiling, some of them were just looking. And then I got home and I was like, oh my God, we're literally like a fluorescent green traffic light if they existed. So that was funny. Number 8 is a new bed for the car or van. So think about it. Our agility dogs spend quite a lot of time in the car, in their crate. So a crate would be a good idea maybe if you don't have one of those already, but most people already do. But a nice comfy bed for your dog to sit in the car or van in between runs, because they spend most of their day there, if you think about it. So number 9 is a travel bowl. So bowls are obviously really essential, a bit like the water bottle version for dogs, for us, if that makes sense. So again, it's really important for our dogs to stay hydrated throughout the day when they're well, just in general, but when they're competing and running about especially. So if you get a nice big collapsible maybe, so I think I have loads of them. I think I have about 3 different sizes of the green Becco collapsible bowl. And they're brilliant because they can just slot in your bag or your pocket. And then you can whip it out, pop it out, put it down, put water in it and there you go. And then pop it back up. No, push it back down into its flat state and put it away. It's perfect for agility. And again, you know, like when you buy new products, you're more inclined to use them because you're like, oh, my new product, you know what I mean? Number 10, so the very final part of this episode, joint supplement. So obviously Arrow is on Better Life Pharmaquin Joint Complete HA. I think this is really important. So, you know, our dogs need, you know, age and exercise will basically essentially damage the natural regeneration process that our dogs have eventually, or, you know, wear it down and it starts getting less efficient as they get older and they do loads more exercise. And our agility dogs' joints are under a lot of stress from the sport we ask them to do. So I think this is really important. So to be fair, they last quite a long time. Like, you may think they're expensive, but if you get a good tub like that of joint supplement, it does last quite a while. So you're definitely getting a good amount for your money. And, you know, again, peace of mind, you know you're doing the best for your dog and they're more likely to have a long and healthy and happy agility career ahead of them and not have to retire as quickly. Think of it like that as well. Like, not only are you stopping them from being in discomfort, which is the main thing, but their agility career will probably last longer. So it's a win-win for everyone involved. And that is the end of the Christmas wish list for agility handlers and dogs. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've put any of these things on your wish list for Christmas, or you're going to buy your agility handling friend anything that I've just stated. But yeah, that is the end of the episode, and you know the drill. Without further ado, please leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I always butcher that, I don't know why. Follow me on all of the socials. I will put them here on the YouTube video and down below in the description on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Keep sending me your topic requests and guest requests as well. Got lots more exciting ideas coming up for you guys, and a Q&A coming up as well. I should have already advertised that by the time this episode goes up, but the live Q&A will be super fun. And that is pretty much everything. Thank you again for sticking around for a whole year and another episode. And here's to lots more episodes of the Paws in Pursuit podcast going forward. Thank you all for listening, and I will catch you next Wednesday at 8 PM. Bye, guys.